Previously on the Frontier Farmer. We have 3 fields ready to harvest now. Right, so let's get all these crates of soybeans to the sell point. And to the left you'll notice our new wood chip sell point. We have a load of 23,000 litres. So now we are going to get on with our harvests. Start up, descend the thrasher and head on into the field. That's all the wheat harvested. Merrily harvest up this barley, and we're going to give a portion to the chickens and then stick the rest in the silo. Right, we are collecting up the straw and deposit it in the French dovecote. So, a bit of an expensive outlay, but it is a bigger and more capable harvester. There we go, we are doing the first part of the headland in our new harvester. And we're going to get this dropped off in the windmill and come back when that is all processed into oil. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Frontier Farmer at the Dark Forest. We are now in August, and we are pressing through summer quite quickly, so we better crack on with the jobs that we have planned today. And those jobs are all going to focus around field number 3, next to our chickens, where we harvested our canola previously. Now that canola has gone into the windmill at the top of the hill. You can see the windmill spinning away there. And that is being busy making some canola oil, which is fantastic. Now, we used our new, well, not new, but old Fortrit harvester, which is an upgrade to the John Deere Lands that we had before. And despite it looking old, this has done a grand job, and as mentioned, is a bit bigger than our John Deere Lands. So, yep, the plan is that we're going to mothball the John Deere Lands by giving it a bit of a wash and placing it in the shed. Now, I have placed a hose for us to give this a bit of a wash down. So we'll get it pulled out of this parking area. The header of the Fortrit is probably going to take the place in the shed there. And then we'll park the Fortrit up probably next to the shed. Yes, here is the hose that I've installed, so we can give it a good old wash. But let's get the Fortrit out of the way and parked up first of all. Nice bit of glare in the windscreen again, but it has gargled into life, so let's turn around and get it parked up. So the header can go in the shed to stay clear of some of the elements. But the harvester's probably alright to just be parked up next to the shed. There we go. Now the John Deere Lands has served us really well. It's our first harvester of the homestead. And it's done about 2 seasons worth of crops. And yeah, it's time to upgrade now because the homestead is growing. We need bigger and better. So yeah, we will be keeping this because we can't bring ourselves to sell it. And also we've got a nice matching John Deere Lands Bulldog tractor that Tim has sourced for us from his old sawmill. Ah, that's nice and clean. Looking as clean as the day it arrived on the homestead. So we're going to get this parked up in the shed around here. And then we'll be closing it up to stay there forevermore. And there we go. Bit of a tight fit, but we'll clamber over it and close it up. And that will probably make a nice barn find for someone at some point in the future. Okay, so time to press on with the jobs of today. And the plan is that I am going to make use of the canola stalks that are in field number 3 by giving them a mulch, and mulching them is going to then contribute to the yield of the next crop. And the next crop is going to be grass, because that is going to benefit our animal farm once we have constructed it. But in order to mulch the stalks, we need a mulcher. So I'm going to jump in the farm and we'll go to the distribution centre and buy a mulcher. And I think also the plan for today is that we are going to upgrade tractor. Now we're not going to get rid of the farm because it is a vital part of the homestead still. We will be using it for numerous jobs, but we do need a bigger and more capable tractor in order to help us grow and flourish the homestead. So yeah, we will be buying a new tractor today. Right, we have arrived, so let's grab the mulcher. And the mulcher we're going to buy is this Matrot BM6. It is 4.7 meters wide, so it's going to help us do the mulching job fairly quickly. And it's $9,000, so not a bad price. Now the good thing about this mulcher is it has a transport hitch and also a operating hitch. So it's quite nice to get back to the homestead nice and easily. Right, we should be able to head on off and drive this back. Right, we made it back and to field number 3. So we'll just get the mulcher unfolded into operation mode. There we go, the hitch is folding out for us to switch to. So we'll drop it off here and come around the other side of it. And then we should be good to attach and start mulching. Now the farm is probably just about capable to run this mulcher. So yeah, we'll give it a good chance. But for the rest of the jobs, I think we're probably going to be using our new tractor once we've purchased it. Fantastic. So let's get lined up first of all. And we can fold in the tow hitch like so. Fantastic. Right, let's get fired up. And then we can lower away. And this is going to mulch all of our canola stalks, which is fantastic. And it looks like it will also mulch the grass on the edge of the field, so that's pretty handy. The main benefit here is that we are mulching the canola stalks, and that's going to contribute to the yield of the next crop. So I'm going to whiz round here, get this all mulched up, and I'll see you when we're finished. Last little strip cleared off, and actually the small weeds did make it nice and easy for me to see where I have and hadn't been, so that is pretty handy. So that's all mulched, so the stalks have been chopped up by this mulching machine and they are now able to contribute to the next crop. So I assume they decompose and form some part of natural fertilizer. They add nitrogen to the soil, so that is pretty good. Right, let's get this hitching arm loaded back out. I think for now we will park it next to the harvester because we don't have any more spare shed space, and that is something for the future really. We do need to rapidly increase our shed space because yeah, we have a lot of equipment and we're getting more machinery, so it really is needed. Now I think we're done with the farm all for now. We're probably going to go and purchase our new tractor, so we'll get this parked up, head over to the distribution centre, and yeah, get our new tractor. And I do enjoy a good stroll through the dark forest. We're at the distribution centre now, so let's purchase our new tractor. And here it is, the International Harvester 1455. Now, I've been quite picky in our requirements for a new tractor. We wanted one with a front hydraulic so we can run equipment on the front. And this has got one, which is fantastic. It's got 185 horsepower, which we have upgraded via the tuning of the engine setup. And it costs $50,757. So not a bad investment. I'm sure you'll agree that it looks the part and is a worthy upgrade to our Farmall, and it will work nicely hand in hand with that. So we are going to buy it. Now, one other thing I want to purchase while we are here is a upgraded and larger manure spreader, because we've got some larger fields now and we want to spread manure in a much more efficient fashion. So this Fortrip T088 can spread up to 8 meters, and it can take 15,000 litres of manure, which is pretty handy, and it's a fair old price of $2,500. And I think that's probably because it's looking a bit old and rusty. So yeah, we're buying it used. So a costly outlay, but a worthy one. And here is our new International 1455. Let's hop in and fire her up. Oh yeah, nicely fired up, sounding good, and looking good. Looking pretty smart on the inside. Got to say I'm happy that we are going to have a cab that will keep us sheltered from the elements, especially when we work in winter, as we often tend to do. And yeah, let's get hitched up to our new manure spreader, and hopefully we can get this back to the homestead in one piece. There we go, nicely hitched up. So let's head on back and take our International for a spin for the first time. We're up to 27 mile an hour. This is going to make some of the journeys we've got much quicker. And we have arrived back with our new tractor and our new manure spreader. Fantastic. So I think we will waste no time and head round to the French Dovecote to get our manure. Of course I will be taking the older and much smaller manure spreader to sell, and I'll take that back later because we're going to need to go and fetch some more equipment later on for getting our fields nicely prepped. So we've emptied the French Dovecote and we've only got 91%. Let's have a look at how it's processing. So we had 40,000 litres of straw that we made out of field 1 and 2 that we harvested last time. We've churned through 10,000 litres of that to make the manure that we've just loaded in. So yeah, we've got a little way to go to restock the manure. But 13,000 litres, it's questionable as to whether or not we are going to make it that far, but we shall see. So we're not growing anything in our open garden at the moment since we sold our soybeans. And we have 2,000 litres odd of manure in here, which we could potentially use if we do run out. I don't think this load is going to cover the whole field. Alright, so let's have a little look-see. And we'll start going in this direction. And if we switch on, should hopefully see that this manure spreader has a greater working width than the previous one. I want to try and maintain speed because I don't want to waste manure. But we're keeping a fair old pace and we're not chewing through it too fast. So this is looking pretty good. Right, so let's apply our primary level of fertilization in this field by spreading manure. And I'll see you when we're all done. As luck would have it, we had more than enough to cover this field, and I didn't cover it as efficiently as I would have liked to. I should have done more headlands to make sure we had turning space. I did accidentally drive into our soybeans in field 4 ever so slightly, so yeah, I've taken out just a couple of soybean plants, but not too much to cause any massive detriment to the crop, so that's not too bad. And I'm just covering up these tiny little patches that I missed. Fair to say though, this Fortrit manure spreader is pretty darn good. Got a good spread on it, and it seems to spread the manure fairly efficiently. Doesn't feel like I'm churning through it as much as we did with the other one, but this has a much greater capacity, so maybe that's just my imagination. Alright, last batch. There we go. Fantastic. Right, let's get the manure dropped off and get this thing parked up. It can take the place of our previous manure spreader, which is in there. We'll need to move the mower. Now, one thing you might notice is this tractor has a rather nice turbo noise to it when it's changing up through the gears, with the sort of turbo spooling down as it changes. Right, one downside to this manure spreader is it does not allow us to unload the manure back into the dovecote, so it must remain in the trailer, but that's okay. It'll be parked under cover, so apart from smelling, it will just sit there. We'll get the mower out of the way, and perfect time to test our front hydraulic. There we go. Now, although this is the batwing mower that would go on the back, we can lift it with the front to easily get it out of the way and get access to our old manure spreader. Here it is. And we'll get the new manure spreader parked in there. I keep saying new, but it is old. It's a used machine, so new but old. That's a bit of a theme with our new equipment. So grab the old manure spreader, and next we're heading over to the distribution centre yet again to sell this, and also to purchase a newer and bigger cultivator to help us get that manure nicely turned into the ground before we seed drill it. And yet again, we will be trading in seed drills as we discussed previously, and I think I've got a nice one in mind for us to swap to. Nice and speedy journey. We will drop this off here to sell it. So we sold that for $3,792. And for cultivators, we are going to get the Rostelmash KTP 7.4. And that's 7.4 because that's the width, 7.4 meters. And it takes 180 horsepower to pull. So we are just in the cusp of that. And it's going to cost $9,300. It is, and nicely in keeping with our tractor color scheme. We made it back, and we can see our existing cultivator in the shed there. Now I'm in two minds as to whether to sell it or keep it, because it does nicely match the farm all. So if we ever had some cultivating work to do with the farm ore, it would probably work quite well with that. So yeah, I will see whether we want to sell it or not. I'll try and have a little think, but I'll probably leave it for today. And if you have any thoughts, then let me know. And also, let me know what you think of our new tractor. I think it's pretty good and doing some great work this afternoon. And oh yeah, I think it's about to pull our cultivator with ease. But we are dragging up some stones, so that was a job that I wasn't expecting us to have to deal with. But yeah, we will have to come and clear the stones. So let's get this all cultivated, and then we can come along and clear the stones. See you soon. Right, you are. That is the cultivating all finished, so we can fold this up. And I'm a little bit surprised as to how many stones cultivating has pulled up. Watch out, chickens. And I can only assume that this is because this is a much deeper cultivator than the one we had before. The tines on it, if that's what they're called, seem to be around the same size and depth as the ones we've got on here. Actually, maybe these are a little bit smaller. So yeah, seems like we've got a cultivator that can go quite a bit deeper, and that's why it's dragged up some rather large stones. So I think it probably would be a good idea to keep this cultivator, because we don't want to be doing deep cultivation every time. Right, I think we will park this in front of our manure spreader, and then we can look to get the stone bucket and get all those stones cleared up. This was an unexpected job for today. Now, one benefit to this tractor is we should be able to pick up the stone bucket with the front attachment. There we go. That is going to make life a little bit easier. We can go front ways, forwards, and yeah, we're not going to overheat from reversing around the field the whole way. Alright, so let's find our way into the field and get the pitch right on the shovel. So that looks to be about right. It's picking them up mostly, but not depositing them. That's what we want. Right, it's taken a little bit longer than it normally does, but I think I've found the happy place of the shovel. So let's hope that we don't fill up and have to empty it, because then I will have to adjust it again. So we'll go around here, get all these stones picked up into the shovel, and I'll see you when we're all finished. And the last few stones collected. We can raise up the shovel. And yeah, there were a lot of stones collected from that field. I think more so than when we ploughed it, which is very, very odd. So the cultivator must be a lot deeper than our previous cultivator, and questionably deeper than our plough. So I wonder if it is a dual purpose cultivator. You can get some plough / cultivators that do both tasks, but yeah, it didn't look like that when I purchased it. Right, that's all the stones collected, and unfortunately the rain has come. It was forecasted and I knew it was going to be here at some point. It has sprung upon us, so I think we'll drop off the stone shovel, we'll grab the old seed drill, take that to the distribution centre to sell, and we'll pick up our new and improved one, which is going to be a bit bigger and make the job a little bit quicker as well. And then we should be able to get the grass drilled before it gets too wet. And yes, we are going to be drilling grass in that field number 3, because yeah, we want to grow some grass for the benefit of the animal farm that we will be looking to probably create at some point next time. And we'll drop the stone shovel off there. Very handy being able to have it on the front. Now this tractor has got absolutely filthy dirty working in the mud and rain, but not to worry, I think that makes it more fitting for the homestead having a dirty tractor. Now of course we haven't needed to mulch, manure spread and cultivate field 1 and 2, because we are going to be turning field number 1 into our animal farm, and field number 2 is going to be where some of our later productions are going to go. So we're going to leave that to be turned into alternative space. So yes, we might have to come up with a renaming of fields. If you've got any idea of what we should call each field, then let me know. But oh, I've forgotten our seed drill. We can't forget that because we need to sell that, because it doesn't really have any other use and I'm not precious about selling it. So we can grab our old seed drill, which looks quite small compared to the International. So nice having this cab. It's an absolute game changer when the weather is not very good. Seed drill sold for $8,560. That's pretty generous. And I can't quite believe this, but our new seed drill is cheaper than the one we've just sold, and it is $6,000, and it takes 60 horsepower to run it, and it is a bit wider at 5.2 meters. I think the previous was 3 meters, and it is the Case 5100, and it's going to match our International Harvester tractor quite nicely. And one benefit to this is it has rollers built into it. So it's got the discs at the front and then the rollers at the back. So that means that we don't have to come along and roll after we have drilled it. And here it is, our nice smart looking seed drill. Let's get hitched up to it. There we go. Now this is a bit wider, so we will have to negotiate the forest tracks. In fact, this is so wide, I don't think it's going to fit in any of the sheds that we have available. But not to worry, we will be looking to make some new sheds in the future. Right, let's pop the covers open, and hopefully we should be able to fill up from our commodity storage shed. Seed has gone in. We can swap to fertilizer. And interestingly, we can't fill this up with fertilizer either from the commodity storage shed. That seems to be a bit of a pitfall of this shed, but never mind, we'll get that loaded. There we go, managed to fill it using the shovel. So we'll get the cover closed, and that is all the seed and fertilizer hopefully we need to drill field number 3. We'll go round to where we started all of the other jobs. Barkamus is walking around in the rain. He loves it, laps it up. Right, we've got grass selected. I don't think there's anything to turn on this drill. It operates via the wheels turning all the mechanisms like the previous one, but we will lower it and we can head on into the field and get to drilling. Now, crikey, it seems like we can go a merry 11 mile an hour to drill this. That seems a bit fast, so I'm going to cut it back and just cruise at 7. That feels a bit more comfortable. Right, so I'm going to get all this grass nicely drilled. And of course, while we're drilling, we have got fertilizer in this drill because it can fertilize as well as drilling. And we are applying our secondary level of fertilizer. We've got the primary level from the manure, and now we're getting the secondary level from solid fertilizer. So, yet again, we probably won't have to touch this field to fertilize it before harvest time, so that is good. But I wonder whether we'll get weeds. That all depends on what kind of job the cultivator we used does. Because some cultivators are, I guess, deeper, and when you plough a field, it does mean that you don't need to weed them. Yep, we'll crack on with this, get this all drilled, and I'll see you when we're finished. And there we go. That's the field, all nicely drilled with grass. And the rain is still coming in, hoping it's going to subside soon. Let's find somewhere to deposit this new seed drill. And it only got a tad dirty compared to the tractor, which is looking pretty filthy after its first day on the homestead. Hopefully the rain will wash some of it off. Now I think I'm going to drop the seed drill in front of the weed hoe here. And yeah, at some stage in the future we are going to have to build some more sheds because we have more equipment than we can currently store. And the equipment is now starting to get quite a bit bigger than some of the shed sizes we have. So I'm going to probably need to create some sort of large shed or barn or something that can house all of this equipment quite efficiently. And that's where probably the area where field 2 is going to be perfect for us to upgrade some of the shed space. And we can park the International off here. And for its debut on the homestead, I think it's done an absolutely smashing job. It's filthy dirty, so it's been working hard, and I think it's going to like its pal, the Farmall, to work hand in hand together. So, it's been a very busy day. We've handed over and changed quite a bit of equipment. We purchased our mulcher, we changed our manure spreader, we purchased a new cultivator, and we also got a nice new seed drill to accompany our lovely new International Harvester tractor. So, the homestead really is changing. The frontier is enhancing, and we've got new, bigger and better equipment to help us with the future. That is it for today. Hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. I'm going to head on in and get a cup of tea. And all I can say is I hope to see you again next time on the Frontier Farmer. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.